from the executive branch in recent weeks, especially from Attorney General William Barr. Today, the House Judiciary Committee is considering possible contempt proceedings. Do you believe he should be held in contempt?
Well, first, let me thank you and thank Fred for his kind words of introduction, for the opportunity to chat with you. I understand some people from Trinity College might be in the audience here.
It's a great school.
I just want to acknowledge that Fred's mom, Bob's mom went to Trinity
She's watching,
College.
she'll appreciate it.
There's some overriding principles, and one of them is the guidance from our founders, e pluribus unum, from any one. They couldn't imagine how many we would be or how different we'd be from each other, but they guided us to remember that we are one. And when we make decisions and prioritize actions and consider options, that oneness, what keeps us together as a nation, is a very compelling imperative for me and for House Democratic leadership. So impeachment is a very divisive course of action to take. We shouldn't do it for passion or bias, or it has to be about the presentation of fact, and it has to be about patriotism, not about partisanship. So when you talk about, and Fred talked about, the diversity in our caucus, I always say the diversity is our strength. Our unity is our power, to get to your point of power. Yes, I think that the Attorney General should be held in contempt. This contempt is about the withholding of the Mueller report in an unredacted way. The accommodations that the committee has tried to make, whether it's about sources and methods. I'm longer on intelligence than anybody ever in the history of the Congress. I appreciate protecting sources and methods. Some law enforcement concerns. That's not a reason to give us the report. It's an excuse not to give us a report, because we all agree that certain things should be redacted. But they were in the course of accommodations, and boom, the administration just said, if you don't, we're going to make this executive privilege. More on the subject than you ever want to know. Yes, should be held in contempt. Now, that doesn't include his not showing up to testify before the House Judiciary Committee, like it's safer in a Republican majority in the Senate. It doesn't include misrepresenting, withholding the truth from the Congress. Some would call that lying. I don't like that word. But you can't do that. You cannot lie under oath to Congress, because you're lying under oath to the American people. So that's a whole other thing. But for the purpose of the course we're on right now, in terms of withholding the information, the unredacted version of the Mueller report for the American people to see and to know. And again, the accommodation that the committee was putting forth, I don't know if all that's in the public domain, but it was very accommodating. I would have wanted more, but the committee, in its wisdom, had a very measured approach. And I think, I don't want to say anybody is surprised. Nobody should be surprised about anything around here. But it was, we thought they'd just come back with a counter offer, but they
Will you bring
a
contempt resolution to the floor, or are the negotiations still ongoing?
Well, I'm a big believer in the committee system, and I respect the Judiciary Committee, and Jerry Nadler's doing a wonderful job, as are all of our chairmen, Elijah Cummings, Virginia Neal, Maxine Waters, Elliot Engel, Adam Schiff. They mostly have the 6 committees that are interacting on all of these subjects. And they'll today take their action in the committee, and then the next step would be to bring it to the floor, and we'll see what their recommendation is about that.
One final thing on the Attorney General. If tensions